by the title of this video, you guys know what we're gonna be talking about. Wait a minute, let me see my intro. What's up, guys? It's Loca back here with another fucking lit ass video. Well, it's not gonna be a lit one, but I came back with a video. I'm gonna be doing my makeup while I talk about my rape story. Now, you know, some of you guys are gonna be like, how can she just talk about it, girl? This is like my 5th time redoing this video because it's hard for me to talk about. But I felt like I should get it out there because I protect the people that hurt me the most in my life. And I feel like some of my stories should be coming out and I shouldn't worry about what people are gonna think about that person who hurt me. Does that make sense? Like, that's my daughter throwing all my makeup down. So I'm gonna try to do this video, you know, little by little and see how it goes. I'm also gonna be doing my makeup during this video, but I am not going to really like show you detail or show you what I'm doing because the main purpose of this video is for you guys to know about my rape story. So first things first, I was in Texas. I lived in Texas for like 2 to 3 years with my father and his wife. She's a good wife. She's treated me like her own, kinda. I love them so much, but the way they did things sometimes wasn't like cool. It took me a whole year to get a new pair of shoes. Just saying. Anyways, so this incident happened to me when I was either 16 or 17 because those are the years I was over there for. My dad, he's a very hardworking man. My father, he you know, I'm not gonna get into them. I'm just gonna get into me. I don't know why I focus on the people that hurt me the most, but I still do. So it weeks before it happened, I met this guy on Instagram, and he went to school only like a town away from me. I don't remember his name, but he wasn't important to me. He wasn't cute, you know. And right off the bat, I used to tell niggas that I was lesbian, because if I didn't like them like that, I'd tell them I was lesbian so they would just back off. You guys, it's hard for me to walk and hard for me just to breathe because at this point in my pregnancy, like, it's too much. Okay. I remember being his friend. I had him on Snapchat and Instagram. And he always wanted to hang out, he was always flirting with me, and like, I just didn't like him like that. I made it so fucking clear, but this guy didn't obviously care. So one day I was bored, and I decided, let's smoke. I don't know if it was me or him, but he wanted to smoke with me. Okay. So, I told him to meet me at the park in front of my house. Mind you, my house was like right here, and you walk literally down the street, like far down the street, and there's a park. So he parked by the park, and I used to sneak out my window, and I was on the top floor. I had like these bricks coming out of the wall so I could climb up and down, and that's what I did. You know, I climbed down the ladders and I walked to his car and waited. So I waited for him to come, and he came. Now off the bat, I felt different. I didn't feel right. He got out the front seat and like he gave me a hug. He's like, let's go in the back. And I'm like, why? He was like, well, let's roll in the back because I have a light in the car. I don't have light in the front, I have light in the back. I went in the back seat with him. First time meeting him. That was my mistake. So we're in the back seat and I'm on the left side, and I'm right here and he's right here. Sorry guys, I get like excited when I talk about this. He was asking me like, oh, why are you lesbian? And he had his arm around me and I felt uncomfortable already. One, I didn't see any weed. didn't see him rolling nothing, so I wasn't comfortable off the bat. I was scared. I had a weird feeling. You know, he kept touching my thigh, and I was like, stop. I told him, stop, like, I'm lesbian. And he was like, nah, you just haven't had good dick yet, this and that. I could change that. And I was like, no, I'm straight. Like, I don't want, like, no, let's just smoke. It was just like, I was like, let's just smoke. Come on, let's smoke. And I remember him putting his hand around me, and I'm like, stop, come on, like, I'm gonna leave. And then he said, come here. And he started trying to kiss me, and I moved away, and I said no. And I guess no meant yes for him. So he, reminding you, he's on the right side of me, and I'm on the left. He grabbed my legs and swooped me around, and my head ended up hitting the back of the window of the car. We're in the back seat, so I'm in the back seat like that. And he swings my legs around, and he breaks the zipper of my pants, my favorite pants. I'll insert a picture of my favorite pants, and it was actually this day. And he rips my underwear, and he does what he had to do for at least a minute. My arms were tied down from his, and I remember being in high school, like, always making fun of the girls. Not making fun of them, but like, I remember in high school always like making fun of the girls that would talk about the rape stories, because I would be like, why are you talking about it in school? Like, do you just want attention? And I regret saying that and like making them feel some type of way, because you know, karma's real. You know, me making fun of them girls who got raped, like, ended up happening to me. And it's true what they say, like, you don't know how to deal with that when it's happening. Like, a lot of girls that have never got raped, they would be like, oh, like, I would just fight them, and I would, like, you know, I would never let that shit happen to me. And I was one of those girls who always said that, like, I would fight until, you know, I could get away. And I you know, I couldn't. I fought it, but he was just so much stronger. His body was on top of mine, and finally, I think it was this hand, I got out of his hand, and I grabbed the door handle and opened it, and I fell backwards, and I was naked. And I was naked, and I hurried up and grabbed my underwear, and I ran naked to my house, and I put my underwear on and my pants back on, and I climbed up that window, and I kind of just sat there on my bed. I kind of just sat on my bed and thought, like, did this just really happen to me? I was so in belief and shocked. Like, I asked myself, did I just really get raped? And I had a minute for it to sink all in, and I was like, yeah, I got raped. And I remember me texting him afterwards saying, you just raped me. You raped me. And he was like, no, you wanted it. And I was like, no, you raped me. And I had those messages. I had screenshots of those messages. I had his Instagram at the point, and so he blocked me. I had everything. I had my pants. I had my underwear. I had everything. And I didn't tell my parents till a week later because I snuck out the house. I was scared that I was gonna get in trouble more than what really happened. One day I got drunk and I called my mom, and at the time my mom, she was living over here in Chicago, and I wanted to come home so bad, but at the time I was being a bad girl, and she just didn't want me home at the time. She didn't think it was time for me to come home. So I called my mom one day and I busted out crying to her. And I was like, I told her what happened. And she's like, Mija, you need to tell your dad. If you don't tell your dad, I'm going to. So I told him. And I was drunk. And this is what makes me so fucking mad. Not the point that I got raped, but the fact that after I got raped, this broke me. Like, the rape really did damage, but when your family don't give a fuck and they act like they give a fuck. So I told my dad, and it was like late at night. I told my dad, and in his head I said something different. I said I was in the backyard and this and that, and he said that I told him a whole different story than what I'm telling you guys now, which is such a fucking lie. If you just sit there and listen to your daughter and what happened, instead of trying to figure out if I'm lying or not, you would know. So I told him, I told my stepmom, and I gave my stepmom the messages. I showed her the messages. I showed her who this nigga was. I showed her his Instagram and everything. I showed her everything. I trusted her. She has proof right in her hands. So my dad comes home, right? I don't know what day it was. It's like maybe a week later, or no, a couple days later. Comes home and he sits down, and I tell him the story. And then he calls the police, and the police come. That's the only thing that a father should do. That's the only thing he did right, was have the police come. My father, he's a felon. He was in prison for 10 to 11 years. I don't even know the real fucking story. I swear every time he says the story, it changes. But he was in prison for 10 or 11 years. And, the police come. And I retell my story painfully again on what happened. And he looks like he's crying. He looks like he cares, but he didn't give a shit. Because later on in the conversation, after I gave the police girl my everything, my clothes, the text messages Birdie had, after I gave her the name of the guy, the police officer was like, okay, I want to take these things with me, and tomorrow or in a couple of days you need to come and write it in written on a form in the police station. And I don't know what that's called, but I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm trying to say. I basically had to say everything what happened again on a piece of paper and not lie. So before the police officer left, my dad asked me to go upstairs in my room. And I have a feeling, and I know this is right, that I have a feeling that he told the cops that I was lying. That I'm a liar, that I've lied before, this and that. I never lied about situations like this. And he's like, I had a feeling, and I heard through the window, like, them calling me a liar. And like, that shit hurt me. It still hurts me. And every time I bring up my rape story to him, he's silent. He can't say shit. Anyway, so a week went by. And still haven't went to go to the police station to write a form. A month went by. I felt like they gave up on me. So I called my mom, and she was like, I told her, it was like, they gave up, man. They haven't took me to the police station. They haven't did anything. Just sitting there. My mom told me, she said, Mija, your dad told me that you said that you didn't want to go through that no more. That you were just going to let it go. And it took me a minute, and like, I never said that. So, instantly in my mind, I'm like, so I'm not gonna go now? Like, they don't care. They told my mom that I didn't want to do it because what? Because was he scared to go back in the courtroom? Was he scared to see everything? Or was it his trauma? But your daughter got raped. And you did nothing. You had text messages, you had pictures, you had everything, and you did nothing. Even if I said I didn't want to do it no more, your job as a father, as a parent, you are supposed to say, no, we're going to catch this guy. That was your job. That was your one and only job, is to protect your little girls. Yeah. I never went. My rapist never got caught. And I remember one time, even after everything, my dead family, he threw a party, and he invited all his friends over. And I remember they were all outside, and I was like, let me go outside. And he's literally telling all of his friends what happened, but calling me a liar. And telling them, oh, I don't even think it's real. And I walk into a conversation like that, and they're all looking at me. I felt like no one. I felt like nobody cared. I felt like it was my fault. It felt like I did something wrong. I messed up. My family didn't give a fuck. They thought I was lying. And every time I bring it up to him, he never wants to talk about it. Never wants to talk about it. It just hurts because you've never been there my whole life. And I decided to give you a chance, and you failed as a father. You failed so bad. Told everybody that your daughter was a liar. Everybody. How does that make you feel? I hope you're watching this video. So how does that make you feel? Do you feel better about yourself? Do you feel like I was actually lying? Where you just didn't want to face the fact that you were going to go back in court because your daughter was going to be on that stand? What was it? I want to know. Because to this day, I still don't have a real answer. Well, yeah. That was my rape story. I want to finish up, and I'll be back, and then we'll end the video. So that was the end of the video. I didn't get to film the rest of the video that day. But I'm in bed right now, you guys. It was one of the most kind of like hard videos to record. It took me like 5 times to record that. But there it is. That's my video. I also want to let you guys know I'm coming out with new merch. I'm coming out with some sweaters, and you guys can hear my daughter in the background. It's bedtime and she does not want to go to sleep, but she has to go to sleep. Anyways, I'm coming out with new merch, and if you don't know, I sell my own hemp rolling paper, so I'll insert a picture right here. And also I sell lashes as well, so you guys really need to go support me. Also, packages, if you ordered some lashes for me or in anything, packages will be out Thursday because that's when I get paid. So yeah, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you want more content, and stay tuned for the next one. Love you.